Your guys from Seaside. That's Bob Mathis blowing the saxophone. That is Max on the Paul Lloyd Warner Busendorfer. And that is Paul back there on the drums, and that's Harley on that bass. Good job, guys. Man, we just love you. We appreciate you. You're fabulous. And good morning, Seaside. Woo, what a joy it is to be with you on this fabulous day. Gosh, there's rain on Memorial Day weekend. That is just different. Though it's not unusual to have fog, I'm sure. But you know what? I'm standing on this side because I'm going to be inviting out our light holder for the day. And the last Sunday of the month tends to be our Sacred Sunday, where we get rid of most of the announcements and we save that time for our practitioner, or Wall the practitioner. But this is Kathleen Lees, who is holding the light, which is symbolic of holding the light. And that is the spiritual light. And so what we do is we light this candle, and then Kathleen sits back in our prayer center and is just in that place where we do our spiritual work. Usually if you're looking for a practitioner, you go back to our spiritual support center. That's where the prayer requests are. You fill out the prayer request form. It goes in our prayer chest, and it's held in total confidence. Only practitioners see it, and they pray on it every day for a week. But right now, I'm going to light this candle, symbolic of lighting the light. Spirit is in the house, and Kathleen's going to make sure it stays. So anyway, it's a joy to be here with you on this last Sunday of the month. I want to welcome anyone who may be here for the first time. Your presence is a joy. Your presence makes a difference. And it is a place that we like it to be welcoming. It's affirming. It is a place without judgment. It is a community where we care for one another. It is a community that we do our spiritual work together, and we're on a spiritual path together. So with that said, why don't you stand up and say hello to the person that's next to you?
Let's all stay standing together. We're going to sing our congregational song, I'm Choosing Heaven Today. Get those hands clapping. Come on. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. Love, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. Grace, I'm choosing grace today. I'm choosing grace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing grace today. Yeah, give it up for Bob. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing joy today. Abundance, I choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I choose abundance today. One more chorus. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road
Thank you, Danielle. All right. Hey, Danielle, did you get home a decent time last night?
No.
No, I won't ask any more then. Okay. We know as we choose heaven, Spirit shows up in all sorts of wonderful ways. And one of the ways we really like to go with is through prayer. And today we have a masterful practitioner here at Seaside, one who's been at Seaside for 25 years. My goodness, has seen us through it all. That is Candace Young-Schultz. Take us to that deeper place.
Please join me in the stillness. The stillness of God, the allness of God, the health, the abundance, the wisdom of God is truly all there is. And I am of that wisdom, that health, that abundance, that joy. And as I know that is true for Seaside Center of Spiritual Living, that this is a place of great wisdom, great joy, great community, love, health, and abundance. I know that this morning is a morning in which each of us hears what we need to hear, what we are seeking. And in gratitude for that, I say, and so it is.
God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good to me. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good to me.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Candace. Good morning. My name is Catherine Cespedes, and I am officially a practitioner student for year 2 here at Seaside. Thank you very much. It is my honor this morning to welcome you all to Seaside, to welcome you back home, being here. If this is your very, very first time being here, I want you to know that we thought about you before you walked through those doors. And so we created this special package just for you. Inside there is more information about Seaside, more information about the philosophy, and you also get 10% off at the bookstore. So, tell them I sent you. So make sure you pick up your packet either at the front door or on the side entrance, and anyone wearing a stole can always assist you and help you, as well as our ushers. On June 14th, this is something for everyone to enjoy here at Seaside. We have Lisa Nichols coming here to Seaside Center for Spiritual Living. That's Friday night at 7 p.m. And it's so powerful and so magnificent, especially for me to be here right now and to know that she's coming, because I've seen her in The Secret, and you may have too. And she has been here at Seaside 10 years ago, and in that time, she has grown significantly, not only emotionally and mentally, also physically. So she's completely changed over the years, and she's now speaking corporate all over the world. She has spoken to over 30 million people since then. So she has definitely grown and changed and shifted, and she was powerful then. I can only imagine what it looks like now, and she has a special message for us all this morning.
Hi there, I'm Lisa Nichols, CEO of Motivating the Masses. I'm humbled to say a New York Times best-selling author and one of the featured teachers in the movie and the book, The Secret. I'm excited to announce that I'll be teaching once again at the Seaside Center for Spiritual Living. It's been a long time, but I'm back. We had such an amazing time. I think back in 2008, 2009 when I was there, and 10 years later, there's a lot for me to share. A lot of breakthroughs, a lot of testimonies, a lot of techniques on how to keep going where you normally would stop, how to push past your fear storms, and how to stand and stay in your greatness. Join me on Friday, June 14th for a special evening of inspiration and healing for 360 degrees of abundance. We started this journey a long time ago, and many of us have grown in so many ways, and I cannot wait to help you get to your next level of growth and breakthrough. I'm coming fully loaded, fully ready to pour into you. I'll be there for your breakthrough. All you have to do is make sure that you're in the room. Please click below and register. Don't wait. We're gonna have a full house, and you wanna be in the room. And when you show up ready to be transformed. I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility, joining you on the journey, and I cannot wait to see you on June 14th. See you soon.
Yes. So if you are watching online, you can go ahead to our website, www.seasidecenter.org/Lisa, purchase your tickets. And if you're here in the room, in the space, you can go ahead right after service, and there is a table waiting for you to purchase your tickets today. So if you're ready for transformation, if you're ready to have a breakthrough, if you're ready to step out of your comfort zone, June 14th, 7 p.m. here with Lisa Nichols. So today's message by Reverend Christian is Wisdom of Difficulties, and I decided to choose a reading from This Thing Called Life by Ernest Holmes. Let us keep it as simple as this. There is but one life, and we are using it. If you follow this method, the time will come when your problem of evil will be solved. You will see through it definitely and easily, simply and directly, and you will know that all forms of evil, that is lack, unhappiness, fear, sickness, difficulties, failures, are not things in themselves. They are merely effects of our misuse of the one life. There may be some who think that before they can accept this position, they must become profound philosophers, spiritual sages, or men of such deep scientific understanding that they stand apart from the rest of the world. And that is not true. What the wisest have known is only a little more than you and I know. They cannot answer your questions for you. You will have to answer them for yourself. Even the best man who ever lived could not live for you. You will have to live for yourself. You do not have to borrow power from anyone or anything. You are compelled to live your own life, to think your own thoughts, to experience your own being, and you can start with this simple proposition. Life is. It is natural goodness and kindness. It is peace, joy, and wholeness. I live in this life. This life flows through me. This life is in everyone and in everything. Therefore, I am one with all that is, all people, all things, and all events. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Well, everyone, we have a wonderful San Diego artist here with us this morning. She's here with us for the first time today. I'm meeting her for the first time today, but have heard so many things on and on about her and found out today everything about those things are true. And you are about to experience her. She's fantastic. She'll be singing her debut single as her second song this morning. If you check out her website, cedricemusic.com, there's an accompanying video for this debut single, and it's incredible. So you will definitely want to check out her site along with her schedule. She plays all over San Diego. So after hearing her, I know you're going to want to check her out. Please give a warm Seaside welcome to Cedrice.
Curiosity is speaking, knock me off my feet. Yeah, you knock me down. You make me feel the shoes you wear. Your sun-kissed hair is why I love you, baby. I stop and stare, can't help where my mind is trying to take me. Your body's got me feeling, hey, yeah, you know just what I'm thinking. Knock me off my feet, yeah, you knock me down. Yeah, you make me feel like I'm the only one that's ever mattered. Oh, yeah, you did, yeah. And when I'm feeling down, you turn my life around. And there is no one else I'd rather see. Moving forward in this life with you has changed my story. Where I fall short, then you're my rock, and you gladly carry my worries. They say that love is work, but you make it easier. I'm insecure, you got me, never making me feel inferior. Yeah, you let me down. Since the day you came, my life has changed, and do only for the better. The boys will come, we still have fun, 'cause darling, you are my own one. Living in your skin so comfortably, with me only in your eyes. We created all the qualities of happiness, divinity. Yeah, you make me feel like I'm the only one that's ever mattered. Oh, yeah, you did, yeah. And when I'm feeling down, you turn my life around. And there is no one else I'd rather see. You make me feel like I'm the only one that's ever mattered. Oh, yeah, you did. And when I'm feeling down, you turn my life around. And there is no one else I'd rather see. You changed my life, and I cannot decide if there's a limit on the things I do for you. And I feel so alive when I am by your side. I wanna live my life with you and only you. Yeah, you changed my life, and I cannot decide if there's a limit on the things I do for you. Yeah, and I feel so alive when I am by your side. I wanna live my life with you and only you. Yeah.
And that is Cedric C. Oh my. Welcome to Seaside. And thank you, Danielle. Always appreciate you, for sure. Hey, pretty picture. Catherine creates those every week. They're just beautiful. And today it's about the wisdom of our difficulties. And you know, and it's the Memorial Day weekend, and I can remember growing up as a kid, the Memorial Day weekend always meant party at the Sorensen's house, swimming pool outside, tacos, and a lot of fun. And I'd listen to like the uncles or the cousins or the godfather talks. And, you know, I only heard stories as a kid from guys who came back from the war. I didn't really realize that anybody actually died going to war. It wasn't until Vietnam that the reality of, you know, some friends or family not coming back that it began to, you know, hit in a whole deeper kind of way. And, you know, on this Memorial Day weekend, you know, my heart is just always torn. I'm not a big proponent of war, but those individuals who are willing to give it all is just, it's just an amazing concept to me to support, you know, our sense of freedom and democracy and all those things. And to have people around that have lost somebody in war. I mean, here at Seaside, you got Ginny, you know, our wonderful practitioner whose son-in-law never came back from Afghanistan. Or Chris Beeson, who sets up our place every morning. You probably waved at him out coming into the parking lot today. His brother was killed over there. And so on this Memorial Day weekend, it just brings up memories of all the services that I've done for individuals out at Fort Rosecrans when we do the folding of the flag out there, or whether it's in a memorial house, or last year we did one right here in the sanctuary where the guardsmen or women, they'll take the flag, sometimes right off the casket, and they fold it up with such precision with their white gloves. It's like almost methodical and mechanical the way it's folded, and they move and eliminate every wrinkle as they fold it, and they crease it, and it moves down the line until whoever's ahead of that team stands there and inspects it, and all that's left are the bright white stars on the blue background, and they tuck the end into the expanded triangle, and they carry it on over, and they hand it to, I don't know, the wife, or the mother, or some family member. And it's not uncommon, to have the wife there and the kids on the side just crying, and to have children crying at a funeral. They talk about heartbreaking, and then in that moment or so, off in the distance, you got a young kid bugler playing that haunting, lonely sound of taps going on. The day is done, and followed by, 3 rounds of 7 riflers with their long rifles shooting 21 gun salute, and that sense that it's just, Memorial Day. It's just, I think of those individuals, but not only those individuals, the new unsung heroes of those who lost somebody, the one who is not recognized by the newspapers or the politicians, or who are spoken to unaware or insensitively, who all of a sudden have got to find the courage and the strength to reestablish a home, and have the lonely nights and the long days and just the heartache, and to find the courage to continue to go forward and create a future for the kids, the one who's going to have the flag passed on to. It's just on this day, I too want to honor those unsung heroes that never volunteered for that role, but somehow found themselves in that difficult situation, and there's something emerged for them. I remember a story Sarah shared, driving her 2 little kids to school one morning, and she heard on the radio the name of a serviceman who was killed over in Afghanistan, ambushed, searching the mountains of East Afghanistan, and they shared his name on the radio, and her little 5-year-old Lauren in the back seat said, "Mom, what happened?" And all of a sudden her head's starting to go, how do you explain to a 5-year-old kind of what went on? But she went and shared that a serviceman was killed in the war. And she said, "What's a serviceman?" And she said, "Is that someone like my dad?" And she said, "That's it, exactly. Your dad is in the service. But I want you to know that death has nothing to do with your dad, that he's safe, that he wasn't a part of that." And the little girl thought and said, "What's his name?" And Mom said, "Who?" He said, "The serviceman." He said, "Oh, the serviceman's name was Gene, but we didn't know Gene. We don't know Gene. It's okay, nothing to worry about, sweetheart." And the little girl said, and this is the part that stuck with me. She said, "But someone knew Gene." And Mom looked in the rearview mirror and could see her little 5-year-old's eyes just watering up, as which Mom just kind of got that her daughter got it, and she said, maybe we should do a prayer, and share a few words of prayer. And she got her daughter and her son off to elementary school into their classrooms, and she just got in the car and just stuck with her that somebody knew Gene, that there's family, there's a wife, there is parents, a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, someone whose life has been impacted. And so on this Memorial Day, I just want to add my prayer and say that, I will do my best to remember Jean or Chris's family or Ginny's family or my Uncle Fred's family or Bob's family or any of those individuals who are willing to sacrifice it all so I can stand up here and share about the Spirit or controversial perspectives or whatever it is that I realize that I'm given this gift of the ability to share because of Jean and families of Jean that have made that possible. You know, the saying where it says that a veteran is one who wrote a blank check to the United States of America in the amount of up to and including their life. And some of those have been cashed. And when it has, the shift that takes place it can be rough. The difficulties that we go through in life, no matter what they are, bring with it a wisdom if we're willing to sit there in our vulnerability and open up and say, hey, what's going on? What change is about to emerge here? And what I've come to recognize with change is a lot of times it creates difficulties in our life. And so many of us oftentimes are just, we don't want to rush into change. If we can put change off to the side, that will be just fine, because the only one that I've come to discover that really loves change all the time is a baby with a dirty diaper. It's like, yeah, bring it on. It's like, okay, I'm ready for that change and the wisdom that comes from the difficulty that brought that initiated that into my life, into my world. There was this man who loved fishing. His dream fishing trip was to go fishing in Scotland, and he made the arrangements, and one day he finally found himself out on the lake in in Scotland, rowing his boat and fishing and just living the dream that he had, when he noticed underneath the boat this very large movement. Something was going on underneath the water that was very big, and then all of a sudden what happened is that his boat began to be lifted up out of the water, and it raised higher and higher and higher. Whatever it was huge, it was enormous, and then this unknown creature flipped the boat, went flying one way, this guy went flying the other way, and as he started to fall back down, he looked down below him and saw the jaws of the Loch Ness monster wide open, ready to devour him, and he shouted out, God, please help me, God, save me, and everything froze. Freeze frame. There it was. And there he is hanging above the open mouths of the Loch Ness monster when he hears this deep, powerful voice that says, my child, I've never heard from you before. I never knew that you believed in me. And the guy said, God, give me a break. Up to a moment ago, I never believed in the Loch Ness monster either. And change sometimes is lurking underneath the water like this huge creature that is ready to grab us and throw us up into the sky. That's about how much people want to experience change in their world, that they're trying to hold on, which is why difficulties or issues sometimes have to shake our world so we are thrown up and are able to look for a higher wisdom than the dynamic that's taking place in our world and in our life. Ram Dass, he said that when we try to hold on to that which is changing, we suffer. I don't want it to change. I want to hold on. And so the difficulty assists us to sometimes let go. But what happens is, before I let go, before I change my job, before I retire, before I move on, before whatever it is, I want to know how it's going to turn out here. I'm willing to change. Just let me know in advance where this difficulty is going to lead me. Then I'm good with it. Okay? It's like the Zen student who had this Zen master, and he asked the Zen master, what happens to the enlightened when they die? And the Zen master says, well, why do you ask? And the kid says, well, because you're a Zen master. To which he said, yeah, but I'm not a dead Zen master. We're just trying to have it all figured out before we go. We're trying to figure it out before I jump, before I move. We're afraid to listen to that urging that is within our soul. But you know what they say about the butterfly, right? Or the caterpillar. They say what the caterpillar considers death, the world considers the butterfly. And so I'm not going to get into the whole metamorphosis story of the caterpillar to the butterfly, because we've all heard it so many times. But the part that really sticks out for me in that is that science talks about it getting to a point that it's called critical unworkability. Okay. Critical unworkability, which scientifically the imaginal cells, who have got their intelligence all of a sudden pooled together and they become the programming aspect of this. But when you're in that place of critical unworkability, you don't necessarily know how it's going to turn out yet. You know you're not a butterfly any longer, or you're not a caterpillar any longer, and you're not a butterfly yet. You are in that in-between stage where it's like, how's this all going to turn out? But there's something inside of me that's guiding me. And the difficulty, there's a wisdom here. I got to believe in the totality of something greater than what it is that I know that is in this moment. I've got to know that Thoreau talks about a license of a higher order of being. That's a license of a higher order of being is what Thoreau talks about, is what is operating here. And in our world and in our life, we're sometimes, it's critical spot that we're in that moves us. Whether it is with our environmental erosion, whether it's the geopolitical stuff that is going on, the monetary stuff that is going, things are not necessarily working as they once did. And as they once did, it was just fine. It got us to this place. The caterpillar was fine as a caterpillar. It got it to that place, but there's this license of a higher order of being that is seeking to express itself. There is a wisdom that is operating through this difficulty, through this discomfort, through this in-between stage that I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but there's something inside of you that knows it is a wisdom. And a lot of times people say wisdom comes with age, but I want to assure you that's not necessarily so, because I've seen plenty of times age show up without wisdom going on in life. We've got to know the totality of this landscape. Ernest Holmes, founder of religious science, he writes in his book, The Science of Mind, that all change takes place within that which is changeless. And change is just the play of life upon itself. Change is just the play of life upon itself. I mean, isn't that beautiful? That's it. It's all spirit. So it's all going on within spirit. And yet I allow the difficulty to take me down the path of fear. When things get stirring up inside, that's your threshold to step into something deeper, to see that there's something greater than the parts or the particulars. It's one thing, to look upon the 7 seas that are on our planet. It's an entirely different perspective to look upon it as one giant ocean. That they're all connected. That it's one large ocean out there. Or all the different nations, all the different pieces of earth that are out there. You ever just stop to think? It changed things a lot if you just realize that it is all this one place that we live called Earth. And though we may take a look at nations and see the separation that is going on, but imagine how we would shift if we recognize that we're one human family. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, we have our unique expressions, and I love diversity. But yet we're still part of something that is greater, that is something fuller. And as we begin to open up to that greater possibility, we begin to recognize that there is a spirit here. There is a life force that is here. And it's sometimes in our world, we need to have shaken like that Loch Ness monster that has us think about things in a different way, that it is one planet, one family. It's not that funny. Man, that's the second time today. At first service, I was in this deep spiritual poem that I'm not even going to read you guys. Because where I was going, oh well. Anyway, there's something there. It's Emerson, you know that guy, right? A transcendentalist, really been kind of thought of as the father of the New Thought movement. He said that we dance in a circle and suppose, while at the center the secret sits and knows. You know, say it again. Let's see if I can get it right a second time. Never know if I got it right the first time, but the second time I got to get pretty close. You know, we dance in a circle and suppose, while at the center the secret sits and knows. There's something at the center of our being that knows, that says, I'm getting thrown up in the air. I'm going off to war. I am in this dynamic in life, and I don't know. You know, I am just, my heart is just here, and it's available for spirit. I've let go of the caterpillar, and I'm not yet that butterfly. I'm in that in-between state. I'm in that place of not knowing. I am open to being moved by spirit, so I come to recognize and to realize that all of us are in this together, which is why my heart goes out to those who have accepted that folded flag. You know, why my heart goes out to those that are willing to give all that they have for that which they're being birthed into, that is a greater expression of life. There is something that is moving here, and sometimes it just takes, when you're not ready, a simple something that just opens your eyes. Like you drop the seashell that you brought back from an exotic land somewhere, and you didn't even drop it. Some loudmouth person you didn't even want to show it to drops it on a hardwood floor, and it shatters into a million pieces. And as it shatters, there's something in you that opens and just begins to see what's at the center a little bit deeper, a wisdom that emerges in that moment, or a letter you sent out expressing your love to somebody, and nothing comes back, and you're left there. Or sometimes just sitting on the beach, and the Spirit allows you to feel the wind, and your whole being shifts. It just, there is something that is ever available to us, that connects us over great distances, that can transcend time and space. There was a mom, I'm trying to think of her name. You don't get to know who she is in this moment. It may come. But she shared what it's like to receive a letter in the mailbox from I'll give you a different story. I got so many in my head. I only got so much time to share. No, this one is about a military wife whose husband's aviator, and they hang out with their with the other spouses and the partners and those people who are off, individuals that are off there serving in the war, and they're their support, and they spend the holidays together, and it's the camaraderie. It is, you know, those who understand when they hear that a Scud missile's been shot, how all of a sudden their whole being quakes, or when a plane goes down, they're almost paralyzed, and they can look into each other's eyes, and they get it, and they just take each other, and I understand, I know what it is. And the day that, I've got her name here, that's why I can share it with you. The day, you know, the partners come back from war, and they go to meet them in the hangar. And she says she's not ever really quite ready to fully embrace the possibility, because she never knows for sure whether her husband is going to be walking off that plane, that she almost has the steel around her because he may not walk off that plane, that he may have been be missing, or something that's going on. Her name is Denise Hanel, and what she shares about that, because when she finally does see him coming off that plane, grungy, dirty, tired, exhausted, it's like her wedding day all over. And she says that after the band stops playing and the parade is over and the hugs and the kisses were given and he was home, I can only cry and tremble the way you do after a near-miss head-on collision. And I thank God for my husband's safe return. I thank God for the loving support of family and friends. I thank God for the strength of the wives and the other partners. 10 years later, we're called spouses, not wives. The last decade has been wrought by many changes. Some changes or some things, however, remain constant. Whether a husband or wife, we're still married to soldiers. And when the duty calls, the soldier will answer. In fact, they may seem eager to leave those he loves and fight the good fight. It's hard to be married to a hero, a soldier is called to fight. And the spouse of a soldier is called to understand. Understanding makes you a hero too. Hey, Marv, you got this video?
I had to search through the audience first to find her, but when I finally laid eyes on her, it was an exciting moment. It means the world to me. This deployment have taught me one thing, it is that family time is very valuable.
I try not to think about it, but I miss him all.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. You know, it's there's something about the difficult times or these heart kind of emotions that lets us know that there's something that is there. There is a mystery to all things, yet we can't seem to quite know it. It seems so distant, and yet it's with us all the time. It is right there. It is the totality of it all, in which there. It is more than just either or. It is deeper than yes or no. It is that which brings the embrace and allows us to heal that sense of separation. It is that presence of God, that life force that allows us to know that there is more there, but to be able to experiences where it's at. We can talk about the geography of this spiritual place, but it's only as we allow ourselves to go into the emotions and the feeling and the power that is stirred from moments like that, from moments of loss. And when we lose, it's right to grieve at a deep level. You know, we love someone, we can't help missing them, but from that greater sense, there's almost a beauty because you loved first in such a deep way that those emotions is what brings you to the threshold of a door that you have the ability to move through, but people would rather hover above the emotions or that geography and talk about the way it feels, as opposed to allowing themselves to let go of the control and to have the feelings and the emotions and the pain that brings with it deeper soul wisdom, a deeper soul learning, something you came into this world to get, that someone in your life or some situation in your life lined up to help facilitate that deeper soul stretch for you, but you're the one who has got to stop hovering and talking about that landscape and drop in and recognize that I have to cross this threshold, and it's only in crossing that do you gain the greater wisdom, the greater understanding, and recognize that there is a power in that totality of that presence that is available, that wants to move through you and to express through you in a greater kind of way. Spirit is there, always, in the midst of the most difficult situations. You know, and we grow. Nature grows in quantum leaps. You know, if we got change, bring it on gradually. But nature doesn't seem to do it gradually. You know, what precedes change is usually chaos and crisis that's going on. And then nature tends to make this quantum leap. You know, it adapts, but it not only adapts, it innovates. It transforms. It goes from gills and fins to lungs and feet. You know, it goes from, high intelligent animals to the human expression. Nature makes these quantum leaps, and in our life, when we come up to that difficult moment and we are called to step through, You're the only one who's going to be able to make that decision because you cannot control change. The only thing that we get to work on is our thinking, our mind, our feelings, and let go to those emotions and trust that I'm going between that between stage of the critical unworkability, but I know that there's something here that's going to come forth because the crisis is the evolutionary driver that is going on in the world. You know, the evolutionary driver is the change, the crisis, the something. And what I've got to believe is that there is a higher wisdom that sees all oceans instead of 7 seas. There's something that understands what is taking place there, somehow relates back to my experience. And I am not going to just pass by with my eyes closed and not allow my heart and my soul to experience the greater possibility of deep loss, of deeper understanding. But I've got to let go of what I am comfortable with. There is a lady went to her mailbox. This is a story I was going to share earlier. And her name is Jill Cortell. And she said she loved her mailbox when her husband was off serving because there would be letters that would arrive. And one morning she went out there. She hadn't heard from her husband for weeks. She hadn't been sleeping. She was filled with worry. She went out there, opened up her mailbox, and there was the letter. On it was written, "Free mail." She loved those 2 words because free mail meant it is coming from the military, and that is my husband who is writing me, and she couldn't even wait to open up this letter. She just leaned up against her mailbox, ripped open that letter, and started reading, and it was like it arrived just at the perfect time for her. And as she read, it said, "Sweetheart, I miss you so much. We have been, after deployment, been hanging out in Kuwait for the last 6 weeks. Tomorrow morning, we're crossing the border and going into Iraq. And I just want you to know how much I love you and how being able to write you these letters has gotten me through this time so far. And so please, I trust you. You haven't been watching the news, but I know you have been, and I've been trained for this kind of thing, so don't worry, but I know you have been, she starts to cry, and she reads the next line and says, "Honey, please don't cry," and just smile, and she stops, and she smiles, and says, I love your smile, and she just thinks how much he knows her, and she sits there realizing that free mail really isn't free. That it takes those individuals who are willing to write that check up to and including their lives. It takes those individuals who are willing to accept the folded flag. It takes us taking the time somewhere in the course of a year, just paused to say thank you to the families of Jean or Ginny or Chris or whoever is near and dear in our life. Because it takes a lot for those young men and women to say, you know what, I'm willing to give it all so we can have the life that we are living. So I want to end this morning with a song that Danielle sang last year that so many of you requested for her to sing again. And being she was here today, I asked Danielle, would you sing this for us?
Days past 18, he was waiting for the bus in his army greens. Sat down in a booth in a cafe there, gave his order to a girl with a bow in her hair. He's a little shy, so she gives him a smile, and he said, would you mind sitting down for a while and talking to me? I'm feeling a little low. She says, I'm off in an hour and I know where we can go. So they went down and they sat on the pier. He said, I bet you got a boyfriend, but I don't care. I got no one to send a letter to. Would you mind if I send one back here to you? I'm never gonna hold smile. Don't worry, but I won't be able to ride for a while. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy. Too young when they told her, waiting for the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter said the soldier's coming home. One Friday night at a football game, the Lord's Prayer said in the anthem, sang, and a man said, folks, would you bow your head for a list of local Vietnam dead? Crying all alone under the stands was a piccolo player in the marching band, and one named Red, but no one really cared. But a pretty little girl with a bow in her hair. I cried, never gonna hold the hand of another guy. Too young when they told her, waiting on the love of a traveling soldier. Our love will never end, waiting for the soldier to come back again. Never more to be alone when the letter said a soldier's coming home.
That is Danielle Tucker. Touching our hearts, touching our soul. Thank you for that. Yeah, amazing weekend just to pause, remember all that was given, all that was sacrificed, for sure. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to share our love, from this open-heartedness. Invite us to allow that love of Spirit to move through in our contribution, in our gift, in our giving. And as you give, know it comes back. It's not why you give. It's just that is how it works. That is the law of circulation, the law of reciprocity. It is the level in which you give is the level in which it comes back, multiplied. So allow yourself to be that extension of the divine activity of your life. Know that your action is the extension of your consciousness, of where you are in your relationship with Spirit. For you recognize that which you're dealing with is inexhaustible, is the totality, and it's in that landscape that you're willing to play in the areas of feeling and emotion that you've been scared about. Allows you to step through that threshold to discover that you've got all that is necessary. So with that, I'd like to invite our ushers to come forward as we take our gift from our heart and our soul and know that you can't outgive Spirit. And so I want to say thank you to those who mail in your contributions when you cannot be here on a Sunday. It is greatly appreciated. Those who practice that auto tithe, that regular systematic support from your world to Seaside, that regular systematic giving from your life continues to open you up to that consistent and regular support of Spirit showing up, not at the last minute to bail you out, but that which just flows consistently so there is no fear. There's a deep sense of security in all areas of your life, in health and relationships and finances. It all outpictures in the expression of Spirit. So with that, I share this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the fullness and the grace and the good of God finds expression as our very life. We become that conduit of that divine motion, for we are that tap that taps into that inexhaustible reservoir, and as it continues to move through our life, we begin to feel more secure in our self-expression and our creative expression. We have a deep sense of knowing with a peace around our being that we are absolutely sourced in that which we've been called to do in life. So with joy, we share that which has showed up in our world, finding ourselves to become greater recipients of even more of that expanding good. So I say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for being able to be at this moment and move beyond the conceptual, but to step into the experiential of sharing and giving at a new kind of level of life. And so I take that which has blessed my world and I send it forth, knowing it brings the blessings and the grace to everyone it comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this moment in time and space to know where I truly stand. And so it is. Amen. And together, let us say our affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Those are your guys from Seaside. Nice job. Woo! And I stand before this abundance and I can feel the love and the caring and the compassion that is poured through each and every one of us, for this gift is given from that high place and it brings with it the high vibration. And so it is received in love, it is handled in good stewardship, and it's put forth back out into life so it can bring that high vibration of love and joy and caring and compassion to everyone it comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for using each of us in this moment to be that divine conduit of God's blessings. And so it is. Amen. It is. All right. Thank you. Hey, Edwin, thank you very much. Your former past board president, Edwin Robinson, keeping an eye on things around here for us. Welcome back to you and Maria from, you're at back east, right? Back east. All right. Glad you're home. Oh my goodness, you're just fabulous. You're wonderful. Cedric C, just blessing our stage. What a presence, what a voice. I love it. Danielle, man, you just rocked our hearts. It was just so beautiful. Thank you for just being part of the family here. It is still recovering from that last song. And always a joy, Catherine, to share Sunday morning with you. Thank you for being a face among us here at Seaside. Giving us sound today is Ed. Thank you very much. Giving us the visuals is Marv. Thank you. And all of you that are at home watching us live streaming, hey, we know you're there because you continue to write us. You continue to support this live streaming ministry. So keep it up. We'd love to hear from you and appreciate the support for sure. And a big shout out to Dana Voigt, who is the practitioner, handling the chat room today. So thank you, Dana, for, last week, I don't know this week, but we had more than 100 comments during our hour together. So that's going on. And take a look at the program, see what's happening here. Big news is Lisa Nichols is coming on the 14th, so you want to be get a ticket for that. As you heard, she's spoken to more than 30 million more people since she was here last, so I trust she's picked up some tidbits since then. It's going to be wonderful. Also, Callie is kicking off deep season with a women's only, a Seaside Sisters, not this Monday, but the following Monday for the deep bowl or sound meditation that's going on. It's always a powerful first of the season, so that's happening a week from Monday. I know graduation is next Sunday, so Dr. Kathy Hearn's volunteer team is meeting as soon as we're done in here. And we're doing Gourmets for God. Look at Tasha is back in the house. Tasha has led our Gourmets for God for the past several years, has successfully handed it off to Susan. And my goodness, so you're our guest chef today.
We are guest chef today.
And does that mean I have to wear an apron? Yes, that does what that means. Not that, not today. I'll use it as this back here, like I'm painting or something. I'll put it there, don't look.
I got a couple things I got.
Yeah, okay, you do. Well, why don't we get cooking and then you can tell us. All right, so what do we got going on? What's
We're
it?
making acai bowl.
And how do you pronounce that again?
Acai.
Has anybody in this room ever had an acai bowl?
Yes? Do you make your own?
All right, so how do we do that?
So Trader Joe's sells these wonderful sugar-free acai packets. So if you haven't seen them, they're awesome. So we're going to put these into our blender.
I like the way we are doing that. That's good.
I gotta see. I don't want it to all fall apart. Hold on, they kind of got stuck together. All right, so put this in, and then you gotta help me.
Can I put in?
The bananas.
I can do. Oh, you cut them up this time, huh? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'm improving.
Yeah, you're improving. Yeah, or you're not trusting me as much. See, I would have put those in first.
There we go. So we got the bananas, and then we're gonna have you add some strawberries.
Can I leave the tops on?
Yeah.
Really?
Tops on.
Oh, then I'll go
There's
slower.
no
I should.
vitamin C in the tops of your strawberries, and so when they're in the Vitamix, you won't even know the difference. So they're awesome, really good for you.
Organic.
Everything's organic.
Of course it is.
Sugar-free. It's yummy.
Okay.
All right, and then these are not just for breakfast. They're for any time you need to have a lot of good energy. Then we're going to add any kind of nut milk you like. We're going to do almond milk.
I can pour.
Unsweetened.
I'm capable of that.
Please.
Yeah, there you go. I see. It is we. Do you want some more in there?
Yeah, we'll need a little bit more in there.
Tell me when.
Keep going, keep going. Let's try there.
Okay, sounds
See
good.
how it looks. How about a little bit of agave? We'll sweeten it up a little.
Okay, that's what I put in my coffee. About that
There you
much.
go. There you go. And then on the side, I have flaxseed, maca powder, and chia seeds.
That looks like pepper.
It does. Those are chia seeds.
I've never had chia seeds.
They're good for you.
You sure?
Yeah, they're
You put them there so you can't see them, right?
You won't see them.
Okay, maca, I have that in my tea.
Yeah, it's very good for you as well. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. High speed.
High speed, there you go. And would you send your kids off to school with only this in their stomach?
My daughters have this for breakfast. Sometimes it's dinner. I mean, it's just like it's when you need a really good meal.
Uh-huh.
And then you can put all these great things. So I'm going to pour some here, and then you get to see what you want on top.
Okay, sounds good.
I've got strawberries. I've toasted almonds, coconut, blueberries.
I'll take a little bit of everything.
Muesli. Okay.
Muesli, I don't like the sound of that.
You don't like that?
I don't know, but it's the sound I'm having issues with. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I thought my kids were a hard sell, but no. There
Oh.
you go. Coconut, almonds. Do you like almond butter?
Not in there.
No?
I'll have some of those strawberries.
Okay.
I'm getting a little nervous.
Strawberries on it.
Okay.
Can you do it?
All right. I'll tell you.
Some strawberries in
Yeah, I grounded them. Drum roll, please. Paul, wake up. Okay, all right. Oh, they could open shops and sell this stuff.
Good, right?
They do. That's wonderful. And Ossie, hey, welcome back, Tosh. Thanks for taking good care of us.
My pleasure.
You have left this Gourmets for God in good hands. So,
It's a lot of fun. I hope everyone can attend, and it's great fun to be with each other. And thanks for all of you that have volunteered to have an event. So.
all right. So, and I heard you keep changing it up like every week. What's up now, Susan?
Okay, there's a couple things. You got to have a bid number if you want to attend one of these. So start there at the bidding, get your number, remember your number because we want you to bid often. If you are a couple, you could use the same bid number, but you need to put each name down on the line. And then if you're not going to be around, like you're going to Africa, for example, we have, we are introducing the buy it now option. So you could just put that down and then you're good to go and you don't have to be a part of the bidding. So bid often and keep checking back, and we are out there to serve you today.
All right, and that's fabulous. And I understand, like, some of them only have so many seats, so it's not who's the highest bidder. It's the first 20 that sign up get it. So,
We're auctioning off Reverend Christian, just so you know.
really? Wait a sec. What am I doing?
$100 to start.
For what?
Oh, just a lunch, a little time with the Rev, right? A little one-on-one with Rev.
For $100?
Well, we'll start at 100.
What is like that absolute? If you just want one bid, guaranteed you get it. $1,000. Now we're talking. I'm worth that for sure. Anyway, hey, we just have so much fun here. We believe spirituality can be fun because there's enough heaviness in our world. Anyway, tell you what, I'm going to pray, but you know what? Would you, Cedric, give us another song just to set up our prayer, to move us in that heart place so we're able to bring forth that presence in a grand way. Okay, and then when I'm done, practitioners, come on up. We'll do our prayer wall Sunday so people can come up and receive a private prayer.
Thank you so much. This next song that I'm going to sing is an original of mine called Woman. It's a song that I wrote inspired by my journey growing into my womanhood, having a lot of insecurities and questions. And I think there's something beautiful about that transition, but not only in womanhood, but also in whether it's loss or gain in your life. There's so much courage that's required and that's needed to be vulnerable in order to grow and actually receive the gift that's within it. So this is a song called Woman.
They seem happy with their babies. If I was a mother, he would want to be with me. Maybe I just think too much. I don't want to be a lady, hiding all these things about me. Yeah, I get insecure, I'm immature, but I want someone to rub up on my area. Spending all this time watching everybody's grind, thinking I ain't doing much, I ain't really doing much. Someone throw it up for me. I feel like, what's it gonna take to be a woman? Is it gonna hurt to be a woman? Yeah, what's it gonna mean to be a woman? A woman, a woman. Said, what's it gonna take to be a woman? Is it gonna hurt to be a woman? Yeah, what's it gonna mean to be a woman? A woman, a woman. I'm gonna look in the mirror, proud to be the image when I see her. If I was another, I'd be sitting here with me thinking you've got all my love. I've been dealing with the devils, believing that my ways are trouble, yeah. But I've got everything I'll ever need, 'cause I learned to trust the feeling deep inside of me. Spending all my time placing pieces where they're right, thinking I'll be doing it, I'll be really doing this. Someone throw it up for me, I feel like, what's it gonna take to be a woman? Yeah, is it gonna hurt to be a woman? What's it gonna mean to be a woman? A woman, a woman. Whoa, what's it gonna take to be a woman? Is it gonna hurt to be a woman? Yeah, what's it gonna mean to be a woman? A woman, a woman. If I'm the only one, maybe, oh maybe I won't see it through. But if I'm the only one, I am the only one telling the truth. Call me selfish, 'cause the independent things I do. Call me a witch, 'cause I'm righteous and I tell the truth. Say my life is a facade, let me enlighten you. I am the living proof of what my God can do. Call me selfish, 'cause the independent things I do. Call me a witch, 'cause I'm righteous and I tell the truth. Say my life is a facade, let me enlighten you. I am the living proof of what my God can do. Yeah. What's it gonna take to be a woman? Yeah, is it gonna hurt to be a woman? What's it gonna mean to be a woman? Maybe I'll just have to see. Is it gonna hurt to be a woman? Yeah, what's it gonna mean to be a woman? A woman, a woman, a woman.
So Tracy, beautiful. Well, I invite you to join me right now in consciousness as we can feel that presence and that life force. As I stand here recognizing this power and this expression of God that moves in this moment, that life that is the life of all things. It is the very breath of my being, is the very breath of all that is. It is the first movement, first cause. It is that from which each of us has emerged and come forth, and that quantum step, that change that takes place within the changeless is the presence of God that is manifesting right here. I can feel it and I can sense it and I can know this uprising of this greater expression of spirit that is here to touch each and every one of us in a way that is personal and right. Come to feel that perfect touch and know that the presence of God moves in this moment as our very field of awareness. Sense it, know it, believe it is the truth of being that is here, that reveals itself in our life in those ways that are right and perfect and whole. For the grace of God is upon this moment, and accept that and know that you are that place of the divine download where the fullness of God brings forth its glory, its richness, its blessings as the very life in which you have chosen to walk and to be. For right here in this moment, there's a healing that is going on. Claim it as yours. Claim it as your truth. For right now, Spirit is in the house, and it is available to anyone who chooses to say yes to it, to feel it, to know it, to experience the grace that is in this moment. And with this, the gates open, the flood pours forth, the blessings are relevant, the wholeness emerges, the body is the truth, it is the temple of God. It knows how to heal itself. Every tissue, every organ, every fiber, the physical being comes into its perfect alignment, its perfect resonance. It's in that resonant field of wholeness that this body dances. It is right to be able to stand before the difficulties in life and to know that there is no separation between God and that which I'm looking at. For it is God that looks through my eyes, and I through the eyes of God. And in that, the difficulties dissolve and bring forth the wisdom and the insight for the soul shifts and transformations that quantumly send us to a new level of expression, bringing the greater good to humanity. For truly these dynamic crises in life are the evolutionary drivers, truly bringing forth that greater yet to be with its personal touch as our life. And I say thank you. I am grateful for the good that is going on, the richness that unfolds, the relationships that become more relevant and meaningful and deep and profound and honest, the intimacy of honesty, of being seen and heard and felt. I know every prayer request that has been brought forth to this community is now fulfilled. And on this Memorial Day weekend, I choose to remember all those heroes who have accepted a flag into their life. Honor those who are waiting by the mailbox to hear that all is well. I know that love supports the families that remain behind, and the love and the light goes before those women and those men who step forth from our shores into a greater expanse of this one planetary world, believing in a cause that they're willing to give their life for. A cause that allows us to stand with a freedom and an expression. And it's in our willingness to express the life for which we have come into this world to express, that we honor those that have gone off, those who have fallen, and those who have returned, did not return the same. So grateful for the warrior class, if you would. For the class that chooses to understand what heroes do. For all of us whose hearts are broken wide open, been invited to stand on the threshold of our feelings, those very vibrational emotions that sometimes we are afraid of because we don't know where they lead. But as we step into that new geography for which we have spoken about, we come to be the 3D expression of God made manifest in this world. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all that has led to this point in this moment. And so I let go, knowing it is not mine to make anything happen, but rather is with a gratitude of being a revealer, transformer, an expression of the God light and love, knowing that a wisdom carries all through difficulty. I choose to look upon that inseparable wisdom of being that chooses to see through my very eyes. And so I let go to this, I trust this, I believe this with an unshakable conviction in the divine right action that has its way in this moment. And so I let go, and I just allow Spirit to be. And so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. only here for God. Come on, Seaside. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
All right. And our affirmation for the week is, the wisdom of the divine leads me through life. Together, the wisdom of the divine leads me through life. Touch your heart and say it again. The wisdom of the divine leads me through life. One more time, like you mean it. The wisdom of the divine leads me through life.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. 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 Have a great week.
And come on up for prayers. You know what? I want to invite any of our recent graduated practitioners, as well as those who are in their final year of practitioner studies, to join me up here on this wall so we can take care of all the prayers. So, Denise, you can join us if you'd like today.